So how do you do those leaf designs on the top of a flat white, or any design on the top of a coffee? So this video, we're just going to look at the basics. I really want to encourage you to experiment and play around with it. It actually takes about 70 attempts before you can master the leaf design. But once you've mastered the leaf design, you can evolve that into lots of other shapes. So we've seen people doing heart designs to start off with because they're relatively simple and straightforward. And you can go up to very, very complex designs like the swan design, which is just a variation on the leaf design but requires a little more control. So let's have a look at the process of doing a leaf design on the flat white. The first key really is the milk. You've got to get the milk consistency dead right. If you've got the milk wrong, it's not going to work. It needs to have the consistency of wet paint. You're looking for micro foamed bubbles inside the milk. So depending on your device that you're using for steaming the milk, or a wand, it will depend on the technique that you use. So for most people, having a figure 8 shape going through the milk as it starts to foam and bubble will create that lovely blend of bubbles inside the milk itself. So as you get to the end and the milk is at the correct temperature and you feel like you've got that consistency of paint, it's good to just swirl the milk jug to just make sure everything is distributed, and you really want to make sure it's flowing. So a little test pour into a spare receptacle will often just tell you that you've got the consistency of the milk just right. So holding the cup in your left hand and starting to pour the milk, you'll note that if the milk is poured from a height, it goes beneath the surface of the coffee. So you would use that really to fill the cup up without damaging that lovely brown coffee cover on the top. So as you start to fill the cup, then it's time to move the milk jug closer to the surface of the coffee, and just wiggling it from left to right, you can start to draw this shape. So this is really the technique you have to learn. There's no easy way, there's no shortcut. You have to learn how to wiggle the jug and to get the milk to sit on that lovely brown coffee just right. But you'll typically do a left to right, and as it gets to the end, you'll do a pour up the middle, and that just pulls it into that lovely perfect leaf shape. This trend actually began in the 1980s and 1990s, and it's really evolved into quite complex work now. We see latte art competitions, or latte art competitions, depending on where you are in the world, you're going to pronounce it differently. But the designs that are being produced are extremely complex and extremely intricate, and you're really aiming to get that consistency. Now, I've gone into a lot of coffee shops, and the coffee looks okay from a distance. They've got some semblance of a leaf shape on the top, but you can push it aside and you've just got coffee underneath. They've not blended the milk correctly into the coffee. So that would typically happen where the milk has not been foamed correctly, and you've poured essentially just hot milk into the cup, and then toward the end of the jug you've started to get the bubbles and you've been able to do the leaf design, and that really affects the texture and the taste of the flat white. And I've actually sent coffees back because they've just not done the milk blending correctly. And in fairness, the barista concerned has just not been trained. They're let loose on these machines, they know how to make the shape so it superficially looks like a good flat white, but in reality they're missing out on those important nuances and techniques. So thanks for watching. Please boot that like button, that really does help us to get out there. We're a very small channel at the moment, so please subscribe, that helps us to get out there. And I've lined this video up for you that will help you to get the best out of your coffee making and your coffee drinking and enjoyment. So thanks for watching, see you in this next video.